That is my personal opinion, but some people might have a different opinion. So how much fund is required to start the clinic? Okay, now everybody is ready. Oh, that's good, I'm ready now. I think I will do my bootstrapping. But how much bootstrapping I'm supposed to do? How much amount I have to raise to start a clinic? It depends on what type of clinic you want to start. A small setup, big setup, musculoskeletal training, neuro clinic, healthcare center, or a geriatric care center. Depends on that. A specialty clinic or pain management clinic or rehab setup. So based on that, amount will change. But for small clinic, like say 200, 250 square feet clinic, around 3 to 5 lakhs minimum is good enough to start a setup. Along with that, you should remember what are the uh, rent of that clinic. You should always have cash in hand to survive without income for around 6 months. Assuming that once you start a clinic, next 6 months you will not get any income, and without income you should able to pay the rent and deposit and the equipment cost for around 6 months. This should be your plan. So 3 to 5 lakhs and maximum is 10 for a small setup. Again, I explained bootstrapping versus investor. So it depends on if you are starting a small setup or big setup, then you can select bootstrapping or investors. Investors, you can have family, friends, we already discussed. Then you need to think about solo partner or solo proprietorship or partnership or private limited or LLP, limited liability. We already discussed about that. Based on that also, the fund requirement will change. Now, okay, I collected my money, I got investor or I did my bootstrapping. Now what next? What and how many equipment are required? So basic infrastructure and equipment required for any simple clinic, minimum 2 plinth to 4 plinth, and there should be a combination of high and low height plinth, office desk, office chair, and 2 patient chair, machine trolleys minimum 2, stools with wheel because you should be able to move easily, and minimum plastic chairs 5 to 10, stackable chairs because more you put furniture, it will occupy the space. Stackable chair, plastic chairs, they can stack and you can keep in the corner, it will occupy less space. So this was the basic thing which I started in the start. Always remember, a light kite will always fly high. If you start with a small setup, you will fly better and you will have less expenses and you can grow easily. So in the beginning, along with this infrastructure, what are the physiotherapy equipment is required? So I suggest these are the minimum physiotherapy equipment you should take. A treadmill is good enough. A cycle. In cycle also there are two options. One is a cycle and one is a cross trainer. The cross trainer, you can stand and then you do the cross training or jogging type walking on the cycle. One is sitting cycle and standing jogger or the cross trainer. I in the beginning, because I don't wanted a separate cross trainer and separate cycle, you can use a combination of both, like which is a cycle, sitting cycle as well as cross trainer. So it will save you cost and also important, it will save you space. So a treadmill. Now you have a lot of if you are doing a pain management, you require a lot of machines, electrotherapy machines, if you are using machine for therapy. So I suggest take a combination of equipment. So there are good combination of equipment and there are basic less cost combination equipment also. Like this combination equipment, they cost around 12 to 15,000 also. You can get a good basic combination equipment, and you have high range like 1 lakh combination equipment are also available. It is your choice. Along with that, you should have a strength training machines like a multi gym or something like that. Sparking and uh, therabands and strength training equipments, dumbbells should be also there. Along with that, once you start with this small setup, you start adding one equipment. Like when I started, I only got a treadmill. Once I got money, I bought cross trainer. Once I got more money, then I got a multi gym. Like this, I started adding one equipment in the clinic. So this is the general average cost. So if you look at the plinth, on an average 5,000 to 10,000, one good plinth will be there. So around maximum 20,000 for 2 to 3 plinth. A table will be around 8,000. Treadmill will personal treadmill or home care treadmill is around 40,000. A cross trainer or cycle will cost you around 10,000 rupees. A good cross trainer will cost around 30,000 rupees. A combination of equipment maximum will cost around 16,000 rupees. A basic combination equipment. And suppose we are assuming that the rent for the clinic is around 20 to 30,000 for around 500 maximum square feet area, and there will be deposit up to 6 months. Rent has to be given, and brokers commissions around 1 to 2 months. So averagely people take 2 months commission also. So if you add up all these value, so it is coming around 3 to 5 lakhs rupees. And if you are in a good locality and from a metro city, it might cost you around 5 to 10 lakhs rupees also for a small 200 to 500 square feet setup. This is a average cost. But if you are still not having good budget, then you can get a budget price. What I did, I couldn't afford this much also, so you can get similar thing in second hand. Like all my initial equipment are always taken second hand, either from somebody's clinic, or a lot of these equipments are always there on Quicker. So I order most of my equipment. My treadmill is from the Quicker. Usually treadmill cost around 40,000 rupees. I got around 15,000. Cycle I got for around 4,000 rupees. Cross trainer I got around 10,000 rupees. If EMS is also there, there are some basic EMS can be get there for around 10,000 rupees with all combinations, IFT, ultrasound, EMS, TENS. And if you take a smaller setup, like, sorry, it is 20,000, not it is 20,000. So my initial clinic rent was 20,000 rupees, and deposit I only gave for 2 months, because whenever you have smaller setup, people can take lesser deposit. But if the more you go bigger setup, people will ask around 6 month rent as a deposit. And commission also I had to give only for 1 month. Now this commission is very, very tricky thing. But when I started, I gave 2 month commissions, and this guy told me that after 1 month I have to again give 1 month commission. 1 year I have to again give 1 month commission. So actually within 1 year I had to give 3 month commission. So please understand and read all the terms and conditions whenever they make you sign this broker. When I signed the first broker's agreement, I was not very much aware that I have to pay him 1 month commission after 1 year as well. And whenever you renew the agreement, they again ask you for the commission. So every time you renew the agreement, they ask you for the commission. So now in agreement also there are some problems. So whenever you make an agreement, always make agreement from 1 year to 3 years, and the lock-in period should be not more than 1 year. What is lock-in period? If you leave before 1 year, you have to pay for whole remaining months. What I did as a mistake, I did a lock-in period for 2 years, and within 1 year I have to leave the place. So it was a big problem for me. I have to pay a lot of money to him in return because I have broke the lock-in agreement. So please do not do lock-in agreement more than 1 year, and do the agreement for 3 years, and always tell your broker that you will not pay again commission after 3 years when you renew the agreement, if possible. Sometimes brokers are very much adamant. They always ask you a commission every time they renew the agreement. So here, when I started my clinic, I required less than 2 lakhs of rupees as an investment in the beginning. Now you did everything what I told you in the beginning. You have your own clinic. Now you open the clinic. Now how to get the patient reference? Very common is patient to patient reference. When you get the patients in your job setup or in a clinic, they will give you more patients, or physio to physio reference. So you can get one physio to another physio. Suppose you are working in one locality or one area, and you have friends in another area, and you got patient. He got patient from your area. They can give reference to your clinic. They can give reference of your clinic. Or if you are doing a neuro setup and you have a friend from musculo, he can give reference to you, and you can give reference of musculo back to him. So you should have this cross reference system also very good. Or if you have contact with student, inform all the students that you have a setup in this area, and they can send patients to you. Or you can use online software such as Practo, Just Dial, Quicker. These are also some of the softwares which give reference, or they send patients to you. Or you can create your own website. Now, how to advertise the clinic? What I did used a free website, which is a blog. So I have a WordPress blog and a Blogspot blog, and I made my page, the company page or the clinic page on the WordPress only, and that was advertising part for me. And I started writing a lot of blogs, and when people used to read my blogs, they also give a reference to me, and we got a lot of reference from these blogs also. Or you can use social media, Facebook, Insta, YouTube, LinkedIn. So I use a lot of Facebook, Insta. I recently started, but earlier I used a lot of Facebook references. Or if you can afford to put more money, you can uh, go on Practo.com. These people, they around charge around 15,000 averagely for a year, and your clinic will be seen in the Practo, and they will give reference to you. And if you take premium membership, they will recommend your name more frequently to the patients. Same thing is in Just Dial also. You can have a free membership in Just Dial, but if you take a paid membership, they also send patients to you whenever they get any reference from your area or your specialty. Or if you have more money, you can hire a typical person who can make you a commercial website, and this can also be one of the source for your income. Like when I started with a WordPress blog, and it was a free website. After few years, I applied for the paid website also. And first few months or years, I took the pre membership of Practo and Just Dial, and then I converted myself into a paid membership of Practo. And the software for Practo is Practore, which is a doctor's consultation software. So now you guys are ready to start your setup. Your setup is implemented, you are ready with advertising and planning, and you started your clinic. These are the points you should always remember. Whenever you start any new setup or any new attempt or any new business, 9 out of 10 startup always fail. So whenever you start your own business, assume that your business is going to fail within first 1 year to 3 years. But don't get offended by it, don't get depressed by it. Always understand you are bound to fail, and failure is very important, because we learn more uh, based on our failure than success. If you get successful, you think whatever you are doing is good, and you will never learn from anything. And success never teaches you anything. It is the failure which teaches you what to do, what not to do, and what to do next. So please appreciate failure. Robert Kiyosaki says you should fail and then fail faster. When I started my clinical business, I within first 6 months I opened 6 clinic, and within 1 year, 4 out of 6 clinic failed. But I learned what type of business model works, what type of business model are not working, what locality is not working, what mistake I made in that failures taught me a lot in business. Imagine I start one clinic right now, and after 2 years I start a second clinic, after 2 years I start a third clinic, after 2 years I start up the fourth clinic. So like that, for 5 to 6 clinic I required 10 years of time. But because I opened 6 clinics within 6 months, I got 10 years of experience within my first 6 months only. And this failure taught me what works, what doesn't work, and that is how I could develop my business model, improve my business model better than others. So Robert Kiyosaki says, if you knock, more doors will open. Suppose he gave an example. He was doing a sales training, and he wanted to sell something. So if you go on to 10 door, by this first rule, out of 10, 9 times you will fail and you will get one success. And suppose you sell one equipment for 1,000 rupees. In a day, if you do 10 calls, you will get 1,000 rupees as income. But if in a day you do 100 calls, you will get 90% failure, but you will get 10 success. So that means you get 10,000 income. So understand this: the more you do attempt, you will get more success. In the end, failure, number of failure does not count, your number of success counts. So this 9 to 10 ratio has to be remembered. Do more attempt, do more failure, knock on more doors. More door you knock, you will get more yes, or you will get more success. What are the most common causes of failure of the clinic? And the first common is cash flow. You run out of money within a few months, either because your clinic was not running well, or you did not have good cash in hand. This is common cause. So always remember, you should never fall short of the cash flow. And why do you fall short of the cash flow? Because you, most of the time, you fund yourself. What are the money or income you are getting in the clinic, you try to spend on your own personal growth, or you buy a car, or you buy some expensive equipment for yourself or the clinic, or you start using that money in your family. Never take money from your clinic in your personal income, except the amount of salary which is allocated to you as a fixed income. Suppose you get a business of 1 lakh rupees, and you allowed yourself to take 20,000 rupees as income. Only take 20,000 rupees as income from the clinic, and rest of the 80,000 rupees has to be put back into the business. Most commonly, people, what they do, they take 80,000 rupees or 80% of the income from the business, and they put back only 20% into the uh, business. So by simple rule, if you are putting 20% in the business, that means there is a 20% chance of the business to grow. But if you put 80% back into the business, there is 80% chance to grow. So it is your choice. You want to grow as a business model, or you want to just pamper yourself. That is your choice. Next, poor team or partnership. When you are building the team, you either you don't have a good team, or you do the wrong partnership. Your partner was not compatible with you, or you did not had a good mutual consensus, and you fall apart due to some reason. So please select your partner very well. Next, and the most dangerous thing is, one of the common cause of failure of any startup is success. Like, one of my failures cause in early phase was my success. I had a small clinic, and I had a lot of patients within few months, and my small setup was causing big problem for me. I had more patient, more income was coming, but my success became a big hurdle in my failure, my success, or growth or development, and it caused big failure in the initial phase of my life. Then I moved to a new clinic. What is your business model? Based on your area, your expertise, or your future plan, you want to do a solo proprietorship, or you want to do a bigger company, or you want to shift in the business model. Based on that, you have to create your business model. You want the whole business model to be dependent on you, or you want a business model which is independent of you, or it is dependent on the team, or it is dependent on the system. Like McDonald's. McDonald doesn't make a best burger in the world, but the whole business model is based on system. So always, all businesses or good businesses, they are based on system, not based on the person. So you should design your business model based on system, or at least based on the team, not on the person. If you are a poor team leader, you might be a very good skill therapist, you might be expert in what you do, but you cannot lead other. One of the problem with all us as a specialist doctor is that we think only I can do the best, and no one else in the world can do the way I do. If you have got employees or your team member, and if you do not believe in your team member, and you think that they are not doing the way you are doing, then you are in a big problem, because you cannot lead them. To be a good leader, you should believe in your team, and not only believe, you should believe that they can do better than what you are doing, and you should trust in them. If you don't become a good leader, you don't set good example, and if you don't lead from the front, then you are in the big problem. Sometimes you become a good manager, like you don't do work and you make everybody work, and you use a stick and you make them do work hard, then also there is a big problem. You should lead from the front. You also should work in the system as an employee in the team, and they should also work. Then only they will learn from you and they will understand you. Like in my team, if there is something wrong, if something is fallen down on the ground, or if something is not clean, I don't bother, I don't hesitate to pick up the mop and clean, because I take that ownership. If something is wrong and something is not good in the clinic, or if something is dirty, same thing my employee will do in the future, and he will take a mop and clean. So like this small incident is very important. Like if somebody sometimes my patient is putting on the shoes and he can't do that, I don't call my support staff and take his help, or call the relative to put on the shoes. I always sit down and I help the person to put on the slippers and the shoes, and I don't feel hesitant, I don't feel inferior to do that anytime, because it is a part and parcel of the parcel of the whole treatment protocol, or a whole experience. And if the person or the patient think that being a owner of the clinic, being such a big person, if you are going down on the knees, you are sitting on the floor and you are helping him to put shoes to the patient, he think you are down to earth, you are a highly respectable person, and they will trust you more. Trust and respect goes hand in hand. If people respect you, they will trust you. If people don't respect you, they will never trust you. Third synonym. First I told you, get respect, build trust, and third is brand. By my definition, brand is nothing but a good trust. If you build a good trust, your brand will develop. So to build a brand, what you have to do? Get a respect first. If you get a good respect, you get a good trust, and if you get a good trust, you get a good brand. So this is a sequence to build a brand. Like I call myself, I started developing my name as a brand, a GB brand or Gajanan Bhalra brand. People used to trust me in the beginning, and the more they trust, it became a good brand. And I used my own name, Gajanan Bhalra, which then short form to GB, to development of my own business, because nobody knew my business, nobody knew my clinic, or nobody was aware about my clinic in the beginning. So I used my own name to develop the business. Once the business was running well, I took out my name from the business. Like first it was supposed to be written Gajanan Bhalara's School of Neuro Rehab and Aquatic Therapy. Then the Gajanan Bhalra is scrapped out, and only GB logo. Now nobody know what is GB, what GB stands for. So I took away my name from the business model, and only the GB logo stands there. So in the beginning, you can use your own trust, your worth, your brand value, your human values, or your image in the community to develop your business. And once your business is running better, you slowly get out of the business and let the system and business run on its own, and you should be just a part of the business model. So no vision, no mission. Most commonly, people just start the clinic without any vision and mission. If you have a good vision and good mission, even if you fail, if your vision is good, if your mission is good, or your why is good, if you have a good compelling why, you will continue even if you fail, even if you are emotionally down, even if you don't get any support. So your why has to be very important. Why do you want to start a clinic? Why do you want to start a business? Why do you want to support your family? Why do you want to be a financially free person? Why do you want a financial freedom? Why do you want your growth? If you can define your why very strongly enough, your why will always make you work in spite of failure. You will never ever give up. And if you don't define your why in the beginning, you will start losing interest in the business from the beginning. So before you start anything, define your why. Why do you want to start what you want to start? And believe in your why. Not only believe in your why, tell everybody why did you started the business, or why do you started your why. When I started my clinical setup, I had my why, and I always told everybody what is my why. to my team. Keep repeating your why to all the team member. Once you keep repeating why to your team member, they will keep repeating the why to another people whom they meet, or they will keep repeating why to your colleagues, his friends, or his patients. And your patients will always believes in your why. See, I will give you example. Why do we follow big leader? We don't follow him as a person, but we follow his vision. What is his concept? Why he is doing it? They may not like you, but if they like your why, if they like your purpose, people will walk along with you. People will stand behind with you. People will stand with you, or people will also stand in front of you to take the blow. So always find your own purpose first. Once you find the purpose, declare the purpose, repeat the purpose to everybody, and make them memorize your purpose, make them memorize your why. And once they believe in your why, people will follow you. People don't believe what you do, people believe what you believe. If you believe in your own why very strongly, people will always believe your why. So people believe what you believe. This is the quote given by Simon Sinek in the book Start with the Why. So next common problem of failure, that you start scaling. Scaling can affect. If you don't scale also, then it is also causes failure. And if you start scaling very soon also, it causes failure. So if you multiply clinic very soon, even before your clinic is stable, or you have constant income flow, then also it causes problem. Early scaling or late scaling. Scaling means multiplying multiple centers or increasing your growth. That is called as scaling. So early scaling or late scaling is always dangerous. So always run your main business fast, better, and then start scaling. So the quote is here: never leave your shore for the unsure. I will repeat again: never leave the shore for the unsure. So never leave what is in your hand and try to multiply the clinic. Once your one first setup is very good, it can self stand on its own and doing a good business, profitable business, or good sustainable business, then only you start scaling. So always remember, you should have a sustainability, then scaling. Once you scale, then you sustain there for that new scale, and then sustainability followed by scaling. So start a new setup, do a sustainable business there, then go to new scaling, then do a sustainable business there, then do the scaling. So this is the model to follow. And the last thing I told you, funding yourself. Don't run business to fund yourself. Your business should fund the business only, not you. So this is the end of the session. Thank you very much. If you like our videos on business in physiotherapy, please do like and subscribe and press the bell icon. We have started this physiopreneur concept. This is the business model with the concept promoting entrepreneurship in physiotherapist. This is the website, which is a blog on WordPress, physiopreneur.in. You can go on this website. There are some lectures are there, and if you like, you can subscribe that channel, that website also, and you can subscribe this channel also. And if you like to watch our physiopreneurship videos, then all these lectures are always on Tuesday at 8 p.m. And if you want to make understanding about neuro rehab simple, then you can subscribe to the channel and watch our videos on Thursdays 8 p.m. We are always YouTube live on 8 p.m. Thursday about neuro rehab lectures, and Saturdays 8 p.m. for gait and biomechanics lecture. So this is the end of the session. Thank you.